Subhanallah walhamdulillah wa la ilaha illallah.
Barakatuh. My name is Yusra, and this morning I'm going to have a chat with Sister Zara about her journey to Islam. Jazakumullah, Zara, for taking the time out to have a chat with me today. I know you have a lot going on at the moment. I did read your ABC article about your journey to Islam. It's a very interesting one because you were playing an online game and you linked up with a few friends, and one of those friends was a Muslim sister in Singapore. So tell me a little bit about that friendship.
Yeah, it's really unexpected, unplanned, and just been an absolute delight. She's just such an incredible person, and she's really changed my life. The impact that she's had, whilst it is not direct impact, and she never intended it, and I never intended it, is something that will stay with me forever. So I can't wait to, it's a strange friendship because we've never met in person, so I really can't wait to meet her in person. But yeah, I'm really privileged to have met her and really honoured, so yeah.
So what was it about Islam that made you want to learn more?
For me, the curiosity around hijab and why women wear hijab. I've had, I guess, been blessed with an influential background through my career and my job, and this year I was selected to champion women in the workplace through my career. So probably more so than ever, I've been more interested in equality and women's rights and, empowerment pieces. So it was really interesting. So I think because I'd had such a negative experience in the past around hijab, and also being exposed, the precondition to be exposed to all the negative aspects of Islam, particularly with the hijab as well, and there's a lot of talk at the moment around wearing the hijab, so I really had no idea. So to have somebody who I felt comfortable to ask questions to and then get the clarity, it was a real light bulb moment because I had such a different perspective on what I thought it was to what it actually is. So that started the curiosity. So it's almost like, okay, well, if I was just polarizingly wrong about that, what else is there to know? So I started to ask more questions, and one question just led to the next, and I think because I'm a curious person, it naturally, I just had more questions.
So what does hijab mean to you now as a young Muslim woman?
For me, I really feel like the first time I put the hijab on was the most liberating experience of my life. My background, my background with the way I look and being objectified, I certainly, have had a different opinion. So putting on a hijab and being covered has been really a beautiful experience for me. So, so it's been quite empowering. I think the ability that we're all equal, that you're looked at for who you are as a person, not your physical appearance, is really powerful. And that protection, I really wish I had have had that in my 20s and growing up, so I wasn't so objectified all the time or based, opinions being based on your appearance. So for me, it's been absolutely incredible. So
growing up, I know you said that prior to accepting Islam, you identified as being atheist. Was religion ever a part of your story, ever growing up in your family?
Very little. Very little. My mum doesn't practice any religion, so I had some exposure to Christianity through high school, so through your normal religion studies. But I wasn't all that engaged with it. I did do a little bit of like Bible camp, that sort of thing, but nothing really long term, so very little. So I don't even really know much about the Bible or anything in terms of any other religions, just the basis on what I've picked up here and there, because I had no interest, genuine no interest at all to learn more. So
you've gone online, you've made this wonderful friendship with your friend Kim, and you getting to know each other really, really well, and you're starting to learn more about Islam through your own curiosity. What was the moment like? Tell me about that moment of realization where you thought, look, I actually really want to take Shahada now. What did it feel like?
It's strange because the story, so a little bit of background, because I've been I made all these friends on this online game, and I started the process of wearing the hijab, and I started just wearing a turban as I was learning about Islam. So my friends here in Brisbane have come along on the journey with me. So after a few times going out to dinner and wearing turbans, of course, they're like, what's going on? Did you have a bad haircut? Like, lots of different curiosities came out, and I'm like, oh no, I'm, exploring Islam and learning about the faith. So it got to a point where my friends have been wonderful, but they were a little bit concerned about my online presence and the time that I was spending in this game and WhatsApp just talking with these people who were really dear to me. So they were like, oh, maybe, you should like, I don't know, go on Facebook, reach out and meet some Muslim people that are actually here in Brisbane, not in other countries. So I was like, yeah, okay, that's fair enough. I understand. I can do that. So I reached out through Facebook on the Brisbane Muslim website. And I was just, like, hey, I want to learn more about Islam. It'd be great to talk to some people and find out a bit more information about the faith. And one person actually popped up with the Islam Basics class that Sister Aman runs. So I reached out to her and I said, okay, this could be a really good class for me to go so I can learn to see if this is something I want to do. So I came to the mosque, and it's the first time I've ever been to a mosque. So super scary. I really didn't want to go in. I was like, oh my gosh. But then I saw Sister Aman and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a really welcoming face and very familiar. So she and I met that day with the intention of me just wanting to sign up to a class to learn a bit more. And I shared my story, and she was like, okay, so you need two real things to have your shahada, and both of those things you meet, so you're ready for your shahada. And I'm like, really? Am I? I don't know. Am I right? And she's like, well, tomorrow is not promised.
Yes.
And that was the moment I was like, okay, she's so right. Like, I could leave the mosque, I could drive home, something could happen to me. So tomorrow isn't promised. So, and I do believe in Allah and Muhammad as the final messenger. So I was like, okay, well, those two things are there. So I will do that. So it was completely unplanned and not my intention coming to mosque to do that.
Yeah.
But it always felt right. So it was just a really amazing experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what has your learning journey been like? I know we are all on this lifelong journey of learning. And there's so much out there to learn, and we're lucky enough to be growing up in an age where, well, we're grown up already, but to be learning in an age where there's so many resources and so many great Islamic courses online. Is there anyone in particular that inspires you?
Yeah, there's a few different YouTube channels that I watch. It's really interesting because when I think about okay, who is a figure that inspires me, I watch a lot of Mufti Menk and Numan Khan. So those are the two main pieces, but there's also another YouTuber, Yasmin Mogahed.
Ah, yes, Mujahid, she's lovely.
Yes, apologies. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be able to say her name right. But she's someone Kim has actually suggested to me to read her book, Reclaiming Your Heart. So, and I've watched a few of her clips, and that makes sense. But if I think of one person that really inspires me the most, it's actually Kim. Because I think that she had no intentions. Now knowing back, she just guided me in a way that only that would have worked. So her dawah in terms of being really direct was all on my terms and it was all about me. So if I think, okay, if I want to spread knowledge, I'd really like to share that, and I'd really like to be that person for other people, but on their terms. So it's not about, okay, I need to go and talk to you and be really intentional about the purpose on why I'm talking to you about Islam, but more so just answering any misconceptions and then leaving it up to people to follow their own journey. I think that was really something Kim did exceptionally well. Whether she intended to or not, I have no idea. I don't think she did. But our paths just crossed, and for whatever reason, she was the right person to guide me down that path. So
What a beautiful friendship.
yeah, really, really
What a beautiful friendship.
beautiful.
Well, your journey has really, really been a wonderful one.
Yeah.
And it started in such an unexpected way.
Yes.
I'm so glad that you could take the time. I know you've got so much going on right now. I'm so glad that you can take the time to have a chat to us this morning. And I know that Caribbean Mosque was the place that you took your Shahada. So I'm sure it'll always be a special place for you.
Yes.
We wish you all the best with your journey, with your move to Malaysia, and may your marriage bring everything that's the best for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having a chat with me today, and hopefully we'll track you online and we'll hear more from you in the future.
Inshallah.
That's the story of Sister Zara Fielding. Jazakallah everyone for joining us.